This is Julien here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and what I want to talk about today is how oftentimes, when trying to achieve success, be it in any field, your own subjectivity fucks you up, okay? And basically how you have blind spots to the things that will help you. So basically, to illustrate this, I'm on tour right now, and I'm with three friends, okay? I have a guy who's into marketing, I have a guy who's into real estate, and I have a guy who's into cinematography who's filming this right now. Now, we're traveling, okay, and for everyone to ultimately build their brand, I mean, what better way than to film, one of these videos in all the cities we're going to? Okay, right now, just in America, we're going to 50 plus cities. And when in your life are you ever going to do this? Okay, pretty much never. And what is cooler than, say, having a YouTube channel of you, just even short videos, like just one in every city. It's like you go on the channel, there's like fucking 50 videos, and everyone here has something to talk about. You can make 50 videos about marketing, you can make 50 videos about real estate or cinematography. And I mean, it's fairly obvious when I say it. It's like me telling you right now, if you were in someone's shoes here, you'd be like, well, of course I make the fucking videos. Now, notice this, okay? Up until now, this is city, what, 4? Is it the 4th one?
Yes.
Yeah, 4th city. On the tour, I'm the only one pretty much who shot video blogs. Okay, now I mentioned this to everyone last night. I'm like, dude, we should all start shooting. And it makes sense, but notice how, again, your own subjectivity fucks you up. It makes sense when I tell you, for example, like, hey, we should all start doing this, but you will block it off. You'll have a blind spot to it because you just want to remain the same. It's like a lot of people get attached onto their dreams of like, what if, and instead of actually doing something about it. Now, I mentioned it to everyone, and my buddy just did a video on, say, marketing. My other one just did it on real estate, and we're just going to do them at the same spots. And now it's time for my cinematographer buddy to do it. And notice I'm telling him, like, okay, well, actually, I'll just ask you can speak, so you won't see, no one will see your face. But okay, why won't you shoot a video right now? What's the first excuse that pops in your head?
First excuse is probably I don't have a good enough topic.
Okay.
First thing.
So let's just think something super simple, because this is
even a topic at all.
Okay. Now this is super common, so it's like, okay, but deep down inside, it's like you should be doing this, but there's always that feeling of never being ready or not being good enough. Again, you're your own worst fucking enemy. It's like you fuck yourself up. So what I would say is just like start simple and start building from there. Okay, I already made a video that talked about it. Just fucking start now. So let's just take one simple topic. So in this shot here, why is it? How did you choose the framing, for example? There were different spots. You saw a flag before. What's the psychology behind that? Just break it down. Simply right now.
Well, I'm trying to get
why this shot? Why not say that shot? How did you choose, for example, if you threw in the cactus or if there was a plane? Why?
Well, I'm trying to get like something that stands out, because otherwise all of this is just flat, and then I'm trying to get the mountain in and the cactus here.
Okay, so describe flat. How is it flat?
Well, if you look at it from here, it all looks like a color of mush. Mm-hmm. So you want to have a landmark in there to pop it out.
Okay. Now, a lot of guys actually make video blogs like this too. They're just very focused on the content, and they're like, you know what, any shot's fine. Okay, a lot of guys are just very logical. Why, in your opinion, does having, say, the cactus or a less mushy shot even just help?
To help with the topic, you mean?
Help with the topic, help with the video in general.
I guess it's just easier to watch it, to look at it. It's just more beautiful in itself. Uh-huh. And I'm dying because of the bugs here. Okay.
How did you learn about, say, framing?
Learning by doing.
How so? Examples?
Well, I've been on the road and been shooting videos, and then basically looking at stuff that I like and looking at stuff deeper and why I like it. And yeah, that's how I find out.
Okay,
it's not
so
like I read a book about it or something.
Yeah, because you never really fully studied in, say, a logical way this whole setup. So you would look at, say, movies and stuff. Yeah. Okay, and what's like one of the movies that just really inspired you, or where the framing is just amazing? Yeah. In terms of framing, let's just stick on the framing and stuff and the emotions you get. Okay.
With Ryan Gosling.
Favorite scene?
In the car scene. Definitely.
Why?
Because it's all in the car. Like, it's so easy to show that scene from the outside, because it's a car movie or whatever. But what the director did and the cinematographer, they did everything from the inside, and you feel like you're right there as a spectator.
Okay, and okay, awesome. So that's what we feel. And let's just say with this shot here, what's the emotion? Are you thinking like storyline? Like, what are you trying to do that's different here than what most people would do?
Right
even just in a simple shot, is in terms of like framing the cactus.
Yeah, well, you got to know that we didn't plan this particular shot. It was more like, oh, I got this quick idea. Let's do this. Okay. And you're obviously tricking me into doing a video vlog right now. Uh-huh. And yeah, I guess this is more so like infomercial, info. Yeah, it's just about the information. Mm-hmm. Just like, yeah, you want to do something, and I try to get your face as close in as possible, because that's what it's about. Like, you're having a conversation right now, So I don't want to do anything that, distracts from that.
Okay.
Basically.
So here's what I'll point out. And again, I don't know that much about cinematography, but even on just our conversation here, in and of itself, I think it's awesome. But even how you could dissect what we talked about here, you could talk about, for example, some of the movies you really liked and the scenes that really stood out and why, how they framed them and the emotions you got from them. Bang, you got a topic there. Number two, the fact that you just learned by trying instead of, say, trying to logically like read all the manuals beforehand like a lot of people do. People watch all these videos, all this content instead of just jumping in and doing it. And I mean, obviously it's a mix of the two, but experience, field experience is key basically. So there's another, topic right there. There's another one too in terms of like different types of video. As you said, here we're trying to make something more informational, like an information video, infomercial if you will, whatever. You're going to frame more on the face. So there's like different types. If it's more information for a video blog, you can do the face. If there's, more of, say, like an emotion or like an overlay or something, there's going to be different types of framing, and you can talk about that there. Bang, and now you just got fucking, 3 topics plus. You can even keep going in depth on that. So, and also realize too, just how easier it was. It's like, oh, I don't want to do it. It's just like once you start getting in the flow, your mouth starts moving. So I'll break this down a little bit more in the next location. But building on that, let's fucking pick one now and record it.
Not doing it. Not doing it.
It's super easy.
Will you put this in the vlog as well?
Okay, so basically just to explain what happened, we ended all on a high inspirational note. It's like, okay, well, you can talk about this, this, this. And then what happened, resistance kicked in where, okay, it's like, I mean, just describe it. So it's like, during the time you were talking, we came up with, say, 3 topics. Now, what went through your mind, say, when we turned off the camera? I'm like, okay, let's shoot one. Break it down.
For me?
Yeah. Like, try to really find the source.
Where to start at all. Like, it was so alien to me, I guess.
Okay.
The idea, like, of suddenly being in front of a camera when all my life I was behind one.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's freaky as shit. And to give you also just a bit of reference, even when I first started, and I talked about this a bit in the first video of this channel, but basically I was shy as shit as well. Micromanaging everything. And I think this is a big thing that stifles people too is, again, you want it to be so fucking perfect, and whenever you actually try, it's never as you ever picture it to be. I played guitar since I was 8, and like when composing songs, you come up with, say, a riff, and you're picturing the whole song finished. You're like, holy shit, it sounds awesome. And then when you go to record it, it's kind of like, yeah, in comparison, and you'd rather latch on to that awesome, imaginary tune instead of actually seeing what you can achieve in reality. So even here, it's like, I mean, the feeling I had, and most likely I'm sure you can relate, is in the beginning, I was like, talking to the camera, I'm like, fuck, it's not perfect. It's not how I imagined it to be. I don't want to release anything shitty out there. And even if I do, like, because another thing you do is just like make the challenge match your ability. So it's like start small. Don't aim to make an awesome video in the beginning. Just do like 1 or 2 minutes, like one favorite scene, or 1 or 2 minutes. What got you into cinematography? It's like, what was the moment, when you were like, oh shit, I'm really into this. It's like, it's very simple on a logical level to do, but then you're still gonna have resistance. You're like, well, it's not good enough. It's not long enough. It'll ruin my channel. I want every video to be perfect. Like with music, I want my perfect little album. But, it's like, yeah, just like, you got to let go of that and just like based on reality and be okay with starting and being like fully new. So it's like right now you got to fully be okay with like making like a sucky little 2-minute video. And you don't even have to release it too. It's like you can just record it for the sake of recording it. That's what I said. It's like, why don't you just record it and then delete it? What was your resistance to that?
I disagree with that. I think you should always release.
I do too.
Yeah, you should always release because most of my stuff, I think it's no good when I release it. And then when it gets out there, people say, oh, I really enjoyed that video. And I'm like, you can't.
Well,
that's not right.
Yeah, well,
I don't like it.
That's what you actually notice too, is like you record it, and I'm saying don't release it because it takes the pressure off. But once you record it, you're like, damn, this is actually pretty good. And you, at least most of the time, end up releasing it. And so you should. But just, you have to find ways to really just take that pressure off and like start somewhere. Because otherwise it's like there's just way too much pressure and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And yeah, just that fucking resistance of like doing the right thing,
Yeah, you think, well, everybody's done it before, this has all been done.
That too, the pressure. It's like,
yeah.
You have me who's been doing this for years. Like I've been doing this for years. Paul here has been doing it for a while too. And as you said, it's like you don't have any experience as of now talking in front of a camera. So there's also that pressure of like, maybe feeling judged or shit like that. I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on all that? Let's just say, are you going to do it at this location coming up? Yes or no?
Jesus Christ. I don't think so.
Okay, why?
Yeah.
Come on, we'll do it together.
Oh no, it's not so much about that. It's more like about
50 seconds. Sorry.
It's actually way more about like I have no idea what to talk about. I would like stand in front of the camera and say, "Hey, what's up? I'm here."
So why not just do?
We'll ask you questions.
Okay, what's the event that what got you into cinematography?
Basically, it was like a very boring. It was like one of the things that I did at school, and then I applied for like a huge ass job and got it, and then I was on tour with this band, but I sucked at cinematography. Like first day of the gig, I didn't even know really how to handle a camera, so I had no other choice than to learn how to do it, and I got good at it really fast. So to the point like we were four camera guys. And then like after 2 to 3 weeks of the tour, like my shots got picked the most when all these other guys were like all these super trained cinematographers, and I just had to step it up at that point. And yeah, then I realized that I have to be like a little bit good at this, otherwise I wouldn't be able to make this, you know?
Okay. Now notice even there how your mind's like again playing tricks on you. You're like, yeah, you know, it's a little bit boring. But this here is like one of the most epic stories ever. Like most people are going to be like, it's like, oh, I saw this movie when I was a kid and I was a little bit inspired and I got into it. That's like what most people expect. Here you are, it's like going on a tour with this like extremely famous rock band, you know, traveling around, filming them,
taking the best shots,
like thrown in with all these guys who have more experience, and here you are like hustling because you don't have a choice, like figuring it out on your own. I mean, that's like the most epic story ever you could come up with. So just start with that. Talk about how you went about making this a career. You know, it's like something you love. It's like, how do you make, you know, your passion in a smart way something you can live off of? Because a lot of people are into cinematography, but they don't know how to go about it in terms of actually living off their passion, you know, at least in a way where they're not going fully broke.
Well, yeah, but I just figured out, like, what, 2 months ago or some shit.
Well, in that case, again, just the whole point of the vlog too is just like be fully honest. It's like, that's something I mentioned, and this is actually pretty key. It's like, don't come in trying to manage a certain impression. So for example, right now you don't want to come in as like the ultimate expert with the perfect channel about everything, because you're still in the process of learning yourself. More so come at this as a student of cinematography who's accomplished a lot, and only talk about the shit that you have authority really to talk about. If you don't, even mention, be like, hey, you know, so I just recently figured this out. You know, I may even realize a couple months later that there's better ways of going about it, but this is what worked for me so far, and you know, here's the advice I can give you based on my real experience.
This is actually what I feel like. It's like there's this guy, he plays guitar for 2 days, and he goes about like the hardest guitar solo, and he says like, look, this is how you do it, and he plays it all wrong. That's what I'm saying, you know? Like all my shots here and there, like they're not perfect, they're fucked up in like a lot of ways. So even like looking at my videos, he would say, dude, this is not professional cinematography or whatever, you know?
That too is a way your mind will play tricks on you. It's like,
take exit 1A.
Okay, it's like you're like, you know, I don't know if it's good enough, my shots are shit, yet here you are, you know, I hired you, the company hired you to travel, and like you've done tons of videos for myself and other people I work with, so clearly they're not that bad and there is something to learn from it. Even I'm sure everyone watching this video, they've noticed a drastic increase in the quality of, say, the videos we've been putting out, you know, over the past few months, so you can talk about that. Again, you're not like a massive expert, but some guy starting out or some guy who's into this, he can learn a fuck ton just off a few bits, you know, some information. And that's also the frame of mind that'll help you. It's like, don't get like stepping out of your little introspective world and being like massively subjective, like, oh, like it's not good enough, what about me, what will it say about me, what will people think about me. Focus more so on like what it can do or what it will do for other people. It's like, make the channel that you would want to see starting out, say, in cinematography. If someone could help you and give you bits of advice, do videos on that. Talk to your old self, if you will.
Plus, I tell you this, you're the only guy sitting here with a camera. So you're getting this epic world tour. You're the only guy getting it. No one else, no matter how good they got at photography, they didn't get into the position you're in, just like you got with that rock band. So now you're here, and anything you take...
Yeah, like even that, it's like, my shots are maybe not that okay. It's like this famous rock band hires you. It says you're like one of the best ones.
Yeah, you take the best of all the professionals.
So to wrap it, what I would say is, you know, we can give you all these answers and kind of eradicate all the bullshit beliefs, but in the end, it's like at some point you just got to decide. It's like, step out of that subjective, you know, point of view. Imagine you were looking at yourself, give yourself objective advice, like, you know, deep down inside you should be doing this, I hope. and then it's just like stick to that and just cut off the excuses, because we can keep on. You can debate this for like ever and ever and ever. So it's like, some point just decide, commit, and go all out, and realize if you don't do it, you're always going to feel disappointed. You always know you could have done it. You should be doing it. You can try to forget about that feeling by rationalizing or trying to numb it in different ways. But again, you won't fully feel happy. You'll always feel happier, no matter how shitty it even comes out, or how stressful it is or stifling it is to do it, by doing it. So on that note, are you going to do it?
I got one more thing. You could sit there when you're making love to a girl and say, you know, some other guy could make love to this girl better than me. You know, in human history, 6 billion years, there's probably some guy right here, standing right here, who screwed a girl better than me, right here. This is the exact location. But am I not going to do it? No. I'm going to get down and do the best I can.
Yeah, but see, that's you know, if you put that out, if you put that out, it's like, there's a reason why I would like make love to this girl. You know what I mean? But I don't see it like a potential reason in doing the video blog. Like, I'm good with doing what I'm doing. Like, I have my camera. I'm filming all this shit. I'm happy. I'm getting paid for this.
How about this?
And,
how about this? In the future, when you get better and better, higher up in your career, you're gonna have teams. You're gonna run a crew, and the guys are gonna respect you if you got a blog. They're gonna come to you. You'll be able to get staff. You'll be able to build a company.
Well, not just that. What I would say.
To North 24.
What I would say is,
be a leader.
It's like, in the short term, yeah, it's probably not gonna. You know, it doesn't really matter. It's like you're on this tour no matter what. You're getting paid. We're traveling. We're filming. However, just on a more, just even like personal level, on one hand, you'll have something to show for after the tour. It's like, even if it's just for yourself, how awesome is it to have all these videos you can watch of all these different places? Like, that's even how I view it. This is like my 4th world tour, and I mean, the stuff I have, just remembering the first, 3 are just the videos that I pretty much have on YouTube. And there's a fuck ton of cities I miss because I'm like, oh, it's fine. So just for your personal use, you have it. Number 2, it's like you develop skills that, even though you may never use them, again, with our day and age like internet, it's like, why not have those skills? It's not like it requires a fuck ton. It's like, there's the awesome opportunity of traveling to all these places with, people who actually do this. It's an easy, it doesn't take much time. It's just do like daily, like just 2-minute, 3-minute video. And now you got the public speaking skills, the video blog skills at the end of the tour. You have a bunch of videos, you can put them out on YouTube. You can even just keep them for yourself, but put them out on YouTube. You have some people who start just following your stuff. And again, don't make it so much about you. On top of all that, it's like you're helping other people. And there's that old saying, as corny as it sounds, the more you put out, the more you get back. And even though it may never affect your career, you never know. Maybe something will happen, and then you're fucked. And and now at least people follow you. It's like you have a certain following. You can, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much all I can say.
You know what, dude? If you're doing a video blog, right, and you're right now you're behind the camera all the time, right? If you're in front of the camera, guess what? You're gonna take better interviews. You're gonna take better shots because you'll know what it feels like to be on the other side, and you'll be able to coach these people through their problems. So if you just take that attitude, don't even worry about it even doing anything. Just the fact that you're learning what it's like to be in front of the camera will make you a much better cameraman. No fucking question about that. That's 100%.
That is
if
true.
you don't know how I feel when you're behind the camera, it's really hard, to get an epic shot. Because you can get a boring shot. I can always talk, but the thing is, to get a real good one, you got to know what's going on. You got to be able to.
You got to go towards Tucson.
In the groove, If you're in the groove, and you will be if you're behind the camera and in front of the camera, then it'll help you both sides.
Mm-hmm. So?
I'm not doing it.
It's like, yeah.
No, we won him over.
Again, it's like, now your excuses are really fucked. You're literally in a position where you're fucked. It's like,
can I just say I don't want to do it?
You're not going to want to do it. So we just arrived here at the second peak. This is South Mountain?
Yes.
South Mountain. The first shot, actually, before the drive was way over there, Camelback Mountain. And basically we arrived, and my buddy finally fucking filmed and did his first video basically on cinematography. So we basically peer pressured him in, like eliminated all excuses. And you ultimately reach a point where there's just so much resistance. It's like how much pain are you willing to take before you just finally do it? It's like, there's so much resistance. Like, he's like, he should do it, and you can debate, and you just reach a point where you're like, it's less pain to do it than, keeping this fucking internal resistance there. So, I mean, I'm guessing like the feeling you have now is just like massive relief too. It's like,
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
Yeah, it's like,
what you described,
it's like finally, and it's never as bad as you expect either. Like the worst part of it all is the mental movie. It's like that fatigue. It's like debating, should I do it or not? When in reality, if you just jumped in and just did it, no matter how good it is, it's like you always feel like massively proud. You took right action, and it's just awesome. So just to kind of wrap things up here, okay, notice how you are getting in your own way a lot of the time. You know, it's like that subjective state of mind, be it in blocking off opportunities, like here you are on the road and it's, as soon as I say, hey, we should all record videos, it totally makes sense, but you would have never thought of it on your own. You know, it just, you'll have a blind spot to it. So having, again, external feedback kind of to snap you out of that helps massively. And once you know it's the right thing, it's like, stop getting in your own way. You know, the mentality I always operate by is like a gun to the head mentality. If someone puts a gun to your head, they're like, hey, what's the right thing to do? No matter what you feel, no matter what excuses pop up, deep down inside, within your fucking gut, you know what it is. And just start taking right action that way. And again, that internal fulfillment, like the fact that even like just having him do it right now, just like, oh, I did it, that's what you should live for, okay? So it is gonna be painful. Yeah, you are gonna have to jump in out of your comfort zone. It's gonna suck, but it'll suck a lot less than the excuses and rationalizations and just mental exhaustion. Okay, so use this as motivation, okay? Be aware of, again, how you are getting in your own way, and realize too, just to give you a nice sense of unity, that you're not alone. You know, this happens to everyone. This happens to me in the beginning, you know, recording videos, in terms of, say, dating advice, like going out and approaching, you know, women, interacting with women, same internal resistance. With him, you know, recording videos about cinematography, same fucking resistance. You know, everyone has this. So you're not alone, but again, deal with it the right way, and change your fucking life.
I'm super stifled right now, as you probably can tell, and it's really hard for me to talk into a camera because I'm so used to like standing behind the camera. But I just had to take the opportunity and do it. And I was like, in the beginning, I was super stifled, and I did not want to do it. And I thought about like, this is 100% the opposite of what I did, of how I went about getting this job as a cinematographer, because I went all out.